Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Curfew Boys. Your host tonight, Anxious Anthony, and with me, we got Statman Joe in the house. What's happening, my man? It's been a while.
What's going on, Auntie? What's going on, Mr. Anxious?
Yeah, it was a very anxious night watching this game. But before we get there, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you hear, you can follow us on X, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we post all our videos. If you like what you see and you want to see our beautiful faces, you can subscribe on our channel on YouTube. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any other podcast platform you like to listen to. Give us an honest rating. We want to hear what you enjoy and what you dislike. Joey, I know you're just joking. Joey, before we get things started, how have you been? How's everything? It's been a while. I haven't seen you. I haven't heard from you.
Well,
you don't love me anymore. Is it because you're beating me in our fantasy football pool? And you just
not
don't
at
like?
all. It's your
Just fucking
Patriots
around.
cost me $600.
I know. I saw that bet you put on
Yeah,
on
I
Sunday.
don't like to promote gambling, but I put small bets, to try to win a few hundred, nothing crazy, and just for fun. I needed just the Patriots to win,
A
and
2-point
last
conversion.
second,
2-point conversion with three
and the
seconds
first
left.
person I thought of was you because I didn't win $600. Thank you very much. No, but everything's been good. I just been busy with work. It's been really tough to come obviously for every episode for everybody, but we try our best and we move forward.
Nice. Our beloved Habs tonight. Can we say the Laine effect?
We can definitely say I think it brought a. We'll get into the game. Montreal beating the Islanders 2-1 in overtime. I will always say I don't think Islanders are that great this year, but you still got to win the game. And I thought Montreal played a good enough game to merit the victory. And the Laine effect. I really thought he brought a different kind of energy to the team. He brought a boost to them, helped balance lines. We looked really good on the power play, even though we didn't score. Oh no, we did score. Sorry,
We
with
did
Laine.
score 50% power play tonight.
We did score with Laine. You're right. And so I thought they overall they played well, and I thought he had a really good impact on his first game, and he was first star. Well, I think they gave it to him just because I know he scored, but if you want my opinion, I think Monty could have been first star, but they
No,
gave it to him.
on TSN, Monty was the first star. Suzuki was second, and Laine was third.
Oh, on RDS, Laine was first.
Okay, well, TSN was the other way around. Look, you said it. I think the Laine effect comes into play tonight. I hope they keep that going. I hope it's just not a honeymoon stage type feeling, but there was life in the fans. There was life on the ice. I haven't seen this team again. I don't want to be those fans jumping the gun and saying we got this. We're gonna change everything around. At the end, I'm looking one game at a time now. And I think tonight there was a lot of confidence in a lot of players. Things that confidence that we haven't seen in the last couple of games, even since the beginning of the season. I don't know about you, but I saw Anderson playing fantastic hockey tonight. Slafkovsky playing good hockey tonight. Dach had some good moments. Yes, in the overtime he almost caused that turnaround.
Matheson had a good turnaround.
Matheson
I wanted to
had
point
a
that out for Chris because I know he's on Matheson's tail. Let's just say all the time.
well,
He had a
Matheson
good game as well.
Matheson had a fantastic game, and of course, I don't know what it was. Maybe because Patrik Laine was in the building, but Monty was fan freaking tastic. He kept us alive all game, and that's. I know we won in overtime, but it would have been very disappointing to lose this game for many reasons. One, Laine back in the building, but just the way Monty played, it just would have sucked. Would have really brought momentum down to this team and to this fan base losing with the game Monty had. I think that goal Islanders scored was just a bad bounce because that looked like it was going out of the zone and he happened to keep it in. and it was just a bad bounce. But just Monty played fantastic. He was just again. Was it the Laine effect? Was it Patrik Laine being in the building? I don't know what it was, but
Maybe it was both.
maybe it was a bit of both. But Monty played a fan freaking tastic game, and
He did.
again, good hockey overall. I don't want to jump the gun one game at a time, but if they can keep this consistent going forward, we have a shot to turn things around. And back to 2 episodes ago when I was on with Chris, a lot of things that we pointed out of the medicine of no medicine the recipe of winning games. Okay, we had said face-offs. Okay, we have had that issue since game one that we weren't great on face-offs. And look, every time we win, we have a better percentage. Look, 55%, 55.8% face-offs over 44%. So already that alone, a big boost to the team. It helps give momentum in the zone when we win face-offs and better
Yeah.
opportunities to score goals
It helps in
and
key
to defend.
situations, certainly with faceoffs, defensive, offensive. When you win a faceoff, especially let's say on the power play, you can, with the guys they have out there, you can control the puck. And I'm confident they can control it for 2 minutes if you win that draw. But if you lose it, you lose already 30 seconds. So
Hmm.
there's important situations. And in overtime, too, right? You want to control
Yeah,
the puck, you got to win it.
exactly. Power play. I mean, that's not been an issue from this season. We've been
And we
playing.
just added Liney to it, right?
There we go. So already we were good in our power play this season, and just with Liney back, we scored 1 out of 2 tonight. Liney was the golden goal, which we'll get into that soon of how perfect that shot was. But penalty kill, we stopped 0 out of 3. We stopped 3 of them against the Islanders, so that's great. We were in the penalty box a little much again. That's something that we need to be more disciplined. But
Discipline, yeah.
if we can stop them like tonight, it's a plus, but we have to get out of that box. And something that we've been saying since the beginning, and Chris said it many times as well, being physical. And tonight we were physical. Slafkovsky was physical, 37 hits tonight out of 32. Again, these are things we need to keep seeing from this team. More hits, less penalty minutes, more face-offs, shots on goal as well. How did we start the season, Joy? Not great. We were
No, we were
being
usually
outshot.
dead last on shots, yeah.
Tonight 27 shots out of 31. I think it was a well balanced game on both ends.
But that's
And
still sufficient. Like we've seen games where they've had under 20 shots, and that's just unacceptable.
exactly. So I'm just really really happy of tonight's game. Overall, great hockey from a lot of players. Again, don't want to jump the gun, but is it the Liney effect? I hope it is, and I hope it continues.
But we can't have a honeymoon effect where
That's what I'm
it
saying.
starts to
We
slow down, right? And we
we
can't
have to
have.
keep this consistent.
That's the thing, is how can they keep this going? Can they do this against better teams? That's the question
Hmm.
that we will only find out as they play the games, that they will answer us.
Well, look, can't get a better time than now. We're in a 5-game home stretch right now. We have 5 games at home. I think that's what they said on TSN tonight. The next 5 games are at home, so there's no away games. This is it, man. If you want to build this momentum, Liney's back, had a great game tonight. We'll be playing the next 5 games at home with our fans in the building. You want to turn the season around? This is it. Let's build this momentum now. I think this is it. This is the moment if you want to turn things around.
Yeah, especially before the holidays, right? We have a solid, let's say, 3 weeks before the holidays hit, and there's a small break, so they can really find their, let's say, their groove and their mojo for next 3 weeks. It could turn the corner around for when it comes to the new year, and we'll see. We don't know. I know Zook in our chat's been talking about, for me to say playoffs. I'm not going to say playoffs. I still don't think they'll make it, but at least maybe it would be something positive to look forward to in the offseason, to build on with Demidov and other guys coming in, to see how it would look for next season, and to get a good idea of how Line it would fit 1-1 shots. Just one game, right? So it's a good way to judge how he'll be next year, because he's going to be in a contract year next year. So he's going to be a big decision to see if they want to keep him and for how much money. So we'll see, but this is the time, like you said, for them to do it. 5 games at home, and then they'll get the short break at Christmas, and usually it's a good time now to get things going.
Yeah. Well said there. The best part of the night. I think you made my night, my week. As soon as coming from someone like you who's very
I
negative
was
with the,
joking.
I know you were joking, but it was just so funny. It was perfect
Yeah,
timing. You know, you've been shitting on the Habs in our chat group, which is given.
for many years,
Given
not
many
just
years.
now.
But this year you were like, trade the fucking team, trade.
No, I haven't been. I've been worse, and when we
You
used to
have
be
been worse in the
tanking.
past, but I'm just saying tonight
Yeah,
was just
tanking.
funny because it was so quiet in the group chat. No one was talking. And then Liney scores that goal, and the first thing you see is we're making playoffs from Joey. I pissed my pants. It was the funniest thing ever to see that coming from you. But you know what? Jokes aside, yes, you may be joking, Joey, by saying that, but it's just a reflection this to the fans today. With Liney back in the lineup, all over social media today, there was a lot of life in posts from a lot of Habs fans.
Hmm.
Even the media was talking about it. There was just a lot of, and we're dead last. We're having a shitty season, and just today, let's say you were a new fan in the league, for example, and you were to go on social media and see all these posts from fans and the media, you would not think that the Habs were last place or having a shitty season, because a lot of Habs fans had a boost of confidence before tonight's game. They were just very excited. That fire that we felt in the preseason, when we were waiting for the season to start with Liney there, we got that back today, all day today. And then we were hoping that, watching this game, we were going to get that effect. And we got it. And we saw it. And he scored. And now it's just, again, confidence in the fans, confidence in the players, confidence in the team as a whole. If we can keep this going, again, it's just one game. You said it before. Let's hope it's not a honeymoon thing. But I'm just, again, I think there's a lot of life in the city right now, and I just hope we can continue it. Again, I don't know about you, but to me, the player that stood out the most for me tonight, and I know there's many other players out there that did, but for me, besides Monty, Anderson, I think he still has it in him. And tonight, he was just, you know, making a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities. He was playing very well defensively as well. A lot of counters on the giveaways that Tampa wow that Islanders had. I don't know. There's just a lot of good came out of the players tonight.
Yeah, there was nothing. I don't think there was anything bad. I thought everyone played their part in the win. I don't think there was anybody necessarily really bad. There may be a few turnovers I saw from Jack from
It was
Doc, like you
13
mentioned,
giveaways tonight.
and overtime. I'm not saying they played super well, but I don't think they played necessarily bad either. But I'll obviously will take this not just a win factor of playing a more controlled game than something chaotic. Where our last game was what the Bruins, where
Bruins.
it was over before it started, as we'd say, right? So this wasn't the case at all. Regardless if it was the Islanders, I thought everyone played their part. Yeah, some played better, some played worse, but I can't necessarily say there was one guy that played super, super awful that we should be, discussing tonight. And we're discussing more of the good than the bad. So positive.
Well, I think Sammy said this tonight in our group chat. Uh, the lines felt balanced. They looked
Balance, yeah.
balanced. Finally, like we didn't have just one line. Every line played their part. We finally saw a balanced
Well, you
lineup.
have a whole, right? I mean, Line A is supposed to bring that offense that we need, and you're kind of always missing that sixth guy. I mean, I still think Newhook eventually on a team that wants to make playoffs and make some noise will be a third liner. But you finally saw, when you have some balanced lines, how it could look offensively and defensively.
Mhm.
And this is the whole looking into the future slash positive part is, imagine you plug in Demidov in here next year, you put him on that top six, you'd probably most likely take Newhook, you put him down to the third line, and wow, look how well Anderson played for you, especially that you said you add Newhook onto there. You maybe have a new center for Dvorak, which could maybe be improved. And then you can look down and then you have the fourth line. It's like, it's suddenly looking better. So that's what we're saying. So it starts with line A, but of course doesn't end with line A. But That's what you need. 1 to 2 pieces can make this balance. Same with defense. Defense, I found tonight was obviously a little better than most other nights, but in general, we all know the defensive core of Montreal hasn't been great at all. But if you can add that one piece that can stabilize it and make it balanced, it can look like a whole new group of players on defense.
Yep.
You sometimes just need that one person.
Yeah. Well, clearly tonight the Laine effect just improved everybody as a whole. So you couldn't say it any better there. Just that one piece that was missing in the lineup just balanced out 3 full lines. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
exactly. Because you have people in their place. You're not taking a guy that should be a second liner to first. You're not taking a guy from third liner that should be to second and afford it. It's like when you used to play something like Jenga. Remember Anthony
mhm.
Jenga?
Yeah.
Yeah, you take out the piece from the bottom, you take out Line, everything could collapse. I'm not saying
Mhm.
it just specifically for Line, but a player that fits the role that you're missing, everything collapses because you got to move everyone else around.
Yeah. Well, look, tonight's lines was it? What was it? Caulfield with Suzuki and Newhook in the first line. Then you had Laine with Dach and Slafkovsky, and then you had your third line Gallagher, Dvorak, and Anderson. And then you had Heineman with Evans and Armia. You see, sometimes when you watch a game, you kind of notice the first line more than others because they play the most minutes, or in the second line, and then the third line you see a little bit. But again, to me, if Anderson stood out tonight, that means all 3 lines had a great effect on the ice, and they played a lot of minutes each line. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like when you have just that one good line, you see them on the ice majority of the game, and that's all you notice. But for me to catch, and I'm sure many others did too, a third liner stand out, like the Gallagher and the Anderson, that goes to show how balanced the first line, second line was, and how great everybody played as a whole. Because again, I noticed the third line a lot tonight, more than the first line, just to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I a lot of positives tonight, like you said. It's the first
And
time
they
I want
weren't
to.
overused, right? I found time wise, Montreal didn't need to overuse their first line
Mm-hmm.
in terms of
Hence
ice
my
minutes
comment
compared
to
to.
seeing the third line perform.
Right,
It was
because
well
you saw
balanced.
them more and they were effective, so they were playing more. So yeah, it really is like a domino effect with having Liney out there tonight.
Yeah. Hey, this is a first for everything. I'm on a 17-minute episode with Joey Palmieri, and not one negative comment came out of his mouth. Like that's a
Uh,
first. That's a first.
it's gonna be a holiday gift. I'll wait till January.
We'll see. When's Habs schedule? I'm just curious to know their upcoming games. So tomorrow night, actually, no, Thursday night against the Predators, then Saturday against the Capitals, then the Ducks on Monday, Penguins. And then they have a break from Monday to Thursday. So the
Yeah,
next 3 games are pretty key. You know, you have the Predators, Capitals, and the Ducks.
and you can certainly get out of those three. I would think I would at least Montreal case you can aim for two. Penguins, although they're always had Montreal's number, not having a good year. Same with Predators. The only one out of the three that are having a good year is Capitals. So you can expect a loss, but you never know at home. But if you can come out of there with 2 out of 3 games, that's already a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially without Ovechkin, it can help too. It can give a bit of a difference without him on the lineup. So, look, I don't want to keep repeating it and being redundant here, but a lot of positives tonight. Let's just hope it's a consistent basis now and not just a honeymoon thing. If we can see what we saw tonight for the next 3 games at home, 4 games at home, I think we're going to be stepping in the right directions for the new year and get some light of little hope that we might be in the playoffs this year. Again, not jumping the gun, guys. I'm not saying it. This is it. You know, tonight we saw the playoff Habs. No, I'm taking it one game at a time at this point. I'm not looking ahead. I'm looking at what we saw tonight. And I'm just really happy. And I said at the beginning of the season, not expecting to win the cup this year. Not expecting to contend. I'm just excited to see the boys play and grow together. And I just didn't see it all season because of lack of confidence and these injuries and all that stuff. And tonight was the first time out of all season, besides game one, because game one was such a hype with Toronto and everything. But other than that, tonight was I think this is the start of the season for me. what we all said on episode 1 preseason before the season started, how excited we were for this team, how excited we want to see these players perform, and how these lines are going to turn out to be, and how these players are going to grow and connect together. Tonight is the start. That's how I see it right now, and I hope it continues.
Yeah, I hope it's a new beginning for Montreal for the rest of the season with Laine, with the Laine boost, and we'll see what happens. Like I always look at, I mean, we're not at the halfway point yet, but usually January you have a pretty good idea of where you're gonna be. So this is like crucial before we hit
This is
that
the
month
crucial
of
point of
January.
the season right now. Like,
Yeah,
if you want to turn things around, it's now. And I said this 2 episodes ago, and we lost the 2 games after against Rangers in Boston there. But now with Laine back and what we saw tonight, we got a glimpse of what this team could do. It was hidden. It was there. We've all said it. We all felt it at the beginning of the season. We just didn't see it till now. And if we can see it continue, then we're all right of what we felt back in September. So,
agreed.
any closing thoughts? We're gonna keep it short tonight.
The Patriots effing suck.
I know,
I won't even
I
go the
know,
whole way
I know,
that
I
they
know, I
costed me
know.
that money. That's more bothering than the Habs. At least
I
the
mean, I'm even
Habs.
surprised you chose them to win. Like
It's the
you sh-
Colts.
yes, but I believe between me and you, management, I think wants to lose every fucking game for the best pick possible. We're not gonna win. We're not making the playoffs this year, so why
I
win?
don't care to make. I don't care for them to win to lose every other game. Not the game I betted them on. That one game, I chose them once. I had a feeling for. I always like to take one underdog, and I thought it would have been it, but
You almost got
whatever.
it. You almost got it. We'll talk better next week with our fantasy. I think we have one more week left. I'm not gonna talk because I fucking shot myself in the foot the last time I spoke about our fantasy.
Don't
So,
speak.
so now I'm not speaking. But okay, instead of boring our fans about this, we'll share the news next week of our personal side bet between us and our fantasy pool. We'll talk about that next Sunday, next midweek. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you hear, I hope you feel the same way like us tonight with this positive vibes for this team. This is it. Let's turn things around. Let's bring back the love and life and fire to this team. If you guys like what you hear, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. You can listen to us on
YouTube as well.
Yeah, you can listen to us on any podcast platform. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can follow us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Give us an honest rating. We want to hear what you think. It's the only way to make us better. Joey,
Anthony.
until next time.
Yes, sir.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Good night.